Of YouTube. This is POD319 here, and I think I'm going to throw my hat into the evolution debate, because to me, it's really a non-issue. Okay, now I don't really understand how there is a debate here, but as far as I can tell, what the problem is creationists think that God created man, and evolutionists think that man evolved from a common ancestor. Now, to me, I see no problem with that. The reason that I don't see any problem with that is because creationism is talking about a supreme deity, God. Now, if God is God, and for the sake of this argument, we're going to say that God is God, then He's omniscient and omnipotent. So He can see everything, has knowledge of everything, and is all-powerful. He can do whatever the fuck He wants. And He does, usually. Alright. Now, what I don't get about the fact is, creationists know that God is all-powerful. That's one of the reasons they believe in Him. Because He's all-powerful. So, why did He just have to go, let it be so, and then we sprang up from mud? Okay? I don't understand that. Well, it's in the Bible, they say. Okay, but if the Bible is the Word of God, directly dictated from the mouth of God to the ears of humans, and then was written down and not changed at all, no it was, but whatever, we have this tiny little bit problem here that God is an omniscient, omnipotent being. And we're humans. That's thinking a little bit. We're humans. We're mortals. We invent illusions of time and space because we can't see everything at once. We can't experience it all at once. So we make this stuff up. It's true. We do. That's why we have lengths and widths, times. Which brings up another problem with the whole God created man by saying let it be, and it beed. It says it was created in, let's see, how many, there we go, 7 days. 7! Now, there's a problem with that. See, in the first day, God didn't create Earth. He created the heavens, skies, and lights, and darks, and whatnot. So, without an Earth, we can't have an Earth day. Can't have it. Doesn't work. That's how we measure days, is by, as the Earth turns, it has to turn around a star, and then one cycle of dark and light is what is basically universally considered to be one day. So, without this spinning and turning and lighting and darkening, there really was no Earth days. And the fact that God doesn't need days. Why does God not need days? Because he doesn't need time, because He wasn't made, so He wasn't born. God doesn't have a birthday. God doesn't have a death day. God doesn't have his little rich watchy thingy. Doesn't have his watchy thingy going off to town and go pick up little Jesus from the soccer game. Because God's already picked up Jesus. He's already taken him to his house because He's fucking everywhere. That's why He's God. Because He's everywhere. Okay. So, you have this being to which time doesn't matter. And there's other being to which time is very, very important. The being that's very important is you and me, us, humans. Okay, so we have this being that can relate to us because he's all-powerful, but we can't relate to him for the same reason. And then he's telling us to write it down, and this is what happened, but if he told us why he did it and how he did it, we wouldn't understand. Because we're mortals, and yeah, we're human. Okay. So, well then why didn't God just tell us that we evolved and put that in the Bible? Okay, let's think about this for a second. You have these men and women, guessing, and, well, the women that weren't turned to dust or raped or killed or mangled and whatnot. So you have these healthy women and whatever, and their guy just told them that they're derived from a common ancestor of a monkey. What would they say? Well, we say, I ain't no monkey. I don't throw my feces at things I don't like. I shoot it with guns and drop bombs on it, and I used to shoot arrows and throw spears and stab swords into it. So I'm higher than the feces-throwing monkey. So the ancient peoples would most likely say the same thing, that I'm no fucking monkey. And then they would say, fuck you, I'm no fucking monkey. There's no way this happened. If I'm from monkeys, then why are there still monkeys? So maybe God didn't put it in there because the Bible wasn't meant for those people. In fact, maybe the Bible wasn't meant for us. Why? Because God sees everything. Okay, so He can see all little spider webbies that go out from one action, such as Him dictating the Bible to humans. So maybe the Bible wasn't meant for us. Maybe it was meant for the people before us, or maybe it was meant for the people ahead of us. We really don't know. Or maybe it wasn't even meant for humans. Maybe God dictated it to us, knowing, remembering, seeing that we would mass produce it. Okay? Maybe that act of mass producing would bring about something else that was His will. God works in mysterious ways. Really. Okay. Little off topic, but I think we can bring the train back into the station. Woo, woo, about the evolution thing. Okay. Isn't really a debate here, because evolution is science, and creationism is belief. Let's put them on hands. Creationism, evolution. Two hands, same thing, they can cross. I know it's a shitty metaphor, but it works. Okay? Belief is not the antithesis of science. Science is not the antithesis of belief. Scientists need belief to push them through when they think they know what is right. Okay? But this is before they have the evidence. They think something is right, they believe it, so they test it and they look for it, and so they use belief in that sense. Now, believers don't really need science to believe, but it can be helpful for helping them in their everyday lives, and also helpful in spreading the word of their Lord. Okay. So they aren't really opposites, they can work together, and they do. Okie dokie. So, why I don't see it as a debate, and is because, I mean, there's really no guidelines. Like, what are you arguing about? Evolution is science. It's supported by pretty much all biologists, which would be one of the main people that do the stuff with the evolution, and you know, they would be those guys. And then you have a handful of people who say that it didn't happen. Now, I'm not saying that the handful of people are wrong, there's been times when they're right, but looking at the evidence that we have, there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that points to the fact that evolution does happen. In fact, there's documented evidence that evolution happens now. Shocking, I know. We've seen it in flies, we've seen it in bacteria, and in fact there was a moth, okay, it was white because it perched on white elms to hide from creatures. Pollution covered the tree, made it brown and shitty, so the moth actually evolved its wing color so it was dark and speckled and blended in with the tree. It happened, look it up. Okie dokie. Now, you can extrapolate from that, as in go beyond the information that you have, and say that if things kept changing in that moth's environment, it would be different than its ancestor. Different enough that it could be another species of moth. Alrighty. So clearly evolution is a science, and creationism is belief. And they can go like these. Yeah, they can. Really can. Not lying. Seriously. Just go with it. Yeah, I know it's been really rambling, and, well, I guess thanks for watching.